Hi everyone, this is Shalli Kumar again from OSCE Nurse Training Cambridge. I'm an experienced OSCE Nurse trainer for the NMC OSCE exam in UK and also the lead trainer for OSCE Nurse Training Cambridge. Welcome to my channel again. I'm back with another adult NMC OSCE video for you. So we will have another video. So thanks for liking the channel, and if you do like my videos, please press the like button now and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so today's video, last one for the year, this one. So we are going to look at five common fails for nasogastric tube insertion station. Okay, so we are going to look at what are the five common fails in insertion of nasogastric tube, which is your clinical skill in your NMC OSCE exam. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at it. So I'm going to tell you what people have been failing in last few months for this station, what are the common fails, and also my top tips how you can avoid those mistakes and pass this station. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at today. Okay, so it is a very popular station in your exam, so let's have a look what can go wrong. Right, okay, so number one, before we go through the mistakes, top 5 fails, let's have a look just as a reminder. I have already done a video on insertion of nasogastric tube, so if you haven't watched it, then go ahead and watch that first. So I have attached the link of the video to the description of this video below. Just to recap, it is your 12-minute station, it's your clinical skill, it's your 12-minute station. You need to measure and insert nasogastric tube correctly. You need to also check if the nasogastric tube is in stomach by testing the aspirate using the pH strips, and there is no documentation. Okay, so you just need to verbalize your measurements for the nasogastric tube, and also when you check the pH you need to verbalize the value of that pH, but there is no documentation. So that's your 12-minute station. So let's go through the most common fails. So the first one, fail to verbalize that you will assist the patient to sit in a semi-upright position in chair or bed. Now that might seem obvious to you because mannequin is already placed in that position. In exam they don't like you to move mannequins, but that doesn't mean you do not show your knowledge and verbalize that. And because you just think, oh, mannequin is already in that position, I'm okay to insert it. You go ahead and insert it, and examiner then give you feedback later on to say that the reason for failure was that you did not verbalize the correct position. So it's really important in any of the station, even if your mannequin is already in that position, whether it's pository, whether it's nasopharyngeal suctioning or this station, make sure you still verbalize what position you will be using for insertion of nasogastric tube. Okay, so it is the semi-upright position with a pillow at the back of the neck, supporting the head with a pillow to ensure no head tilt forward or backward, otherwise it will be very difficult to insert the tube. So you really need to say that. So my top tip is verbalize that. Don't assume because the mannequin is already in that position, don't assume it's okay, it's not okay. You need to show your knowledge to your examiner because they're checking your knowledge. So verbalize this, and just it's in your marking criteria, so make sure that you learn the marking criteria and verbalize this. Number 2, fail to verbalize that you will ensure there is a working oxygen and suction at the bedside. Now people don't fail on inserting nasogastric tube, it's everything around, it's the safety issues. So whenever, even in clinical practice, when we insert nasogastric tube, we always make sure suction and oxygen is available, because patient can actually develop shortness of breath. So it's really important. It's a patient safety issue. If you do not verbalize it, it might seem as one point in the marking criteria, but that's not the point. You have to verbalize it because it's patient safety issue. So make sure you again learn the marking criteria carefully. Number 3, fail to perform and state next measurements correctly. So what is next measurement? That's your measurement from the tip of the nose to the earlobe and then to the xiphoid sternum. So that's what next measurements are. So you have to perform it correctly. Now every mannequin is different, so if you practice on a different mannequin, then you may have that measurement in your head, but on the day you need to measure it as it is on the mannequin which is given to you in the exam. So make sure you measure from the tip of the nose to the earlobe and then bottom of the xiphoid. It means not top of the xiphoid. Sometimes you just stop. As soon as you find the xiphoid, you stop. No, you really need to go to the notch, the end of the xiphoid sternum. That's where that point is. Okay, so don't just stay on the top of the xiphoid, go to the end of the bottom of the xiphoid. So that's the other thing which people fail quite a lot. And then we're going to go to number 4, which is fail to verbalize that you will check that patient is not developing any breathing difficulty while inserting the tube. Again, it's a verbalization. So a lot of fails in these stations are on verbalization. So your marking criteria clearly says to you that you will be checking on your patient throughout, and means you may be checking on the mannequin, but if you're not verbalizing it, because mannequin is not going to develop shortness of breath because it's not a real patient, but that's why it's so important that you verbalize that you will continue to keep checking your patient as you're inserting the nasogastric tube to make sure your patient does not develop any shortness of breath, okay, or any breathing difficulties. If that's the case, you will stop it straight away. You will take the tube out and stop straight away. So that needs to be verbalized, okay? So because you get busy with inserting the tube in the mannequin, you forget it. It may seem a small point on the marking criteria, but it's not small, again, because it's patient safety issue. So make sure you do that. So that's important. So we're going on to the final one, which is number 5, which is fail to check correct pH and fail to verbalize that you will check pH each time prior to using tube. So there are 2 points here because they're both in your marking criteria. So the first one is they give you aspirate. You're not gonna get aspirate from the mannequin because it's not a real person. So they give you aspirate in a galley pot or in a syringe to put it onto your pH strip and check the pH of the gastric content they have given you. Now you do need to do it. You do need to do it correctly. As you can see, the pH strips they use in exam, I have put it onto your screen, and you can see the top one. The top part of the chart is the one which you should be looking at because the pH of our stomach is acidic. So the top part of the chart is the one which is from 2 to 5.5. So your pH will be somewhere acidic because to make sure that the nasogastric tube is in the stomach, the pH should be less than 5.5. It means it should be acidic because our stomach contents are acidic. So because of the presence of hydrochloric acid. So you really need to say what it is. You can't just say it's less than 5.5. You have to exactly say what it is. Is it 4? Is it 3.5? Is it 4.5? Is it 2? Whatever the gastric content they have given you. So whatever solution they have given you. So you need to check it clearly and say that what is your pH. And also you really do need to say that every time you use this tube, the pH will be checked prior to using the tube because tubes can move. So before we give any feed through that NG or any medication through the NG, prior to that, the guidance is that you always check the pH again because it may have moved from last time. Okay, so you need to say that. So learn the marking criteria. It is in the marking criteria that you will mention that, and if you may any doubt, you will request a chest x-ray. But this is all part of your marking criteria, so you really do need to learn that. A lot of fails on these stations are on verbalization of certain points in the marking criteria, not that much on insertion of nasogastric tube. Is mainly on the missing your knowledge, showing your knowledge points from the marking criteria. So I hope this makes a bit more clearer for you now. So if you like the video, please press the like button now and subscribe to my channel, and hopefully you won't make these mistakes in your exam now and stay safe in this station. So so if you do like the video, please press the like now, and you can also visit us on OSCENUStraining.com. And if you need more information about our training, we do both online, face-to-face or hybrid model, mix of online and face-to-face. If you would like to know more information, then you can email us on OSCENUStraining@outlook.com, and I will soon be back with another video for you. So bye for now.